Okay, so you're a skilled contractor, right? You're an expert at your craft. But what if I told you that the way you're running your business is causing you to lose money in places you can't even see? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and find those hidden profit leaks that might be draining your business even when you're working your tail off.
So picture your business like a bucket. Every job you do, you're pouring hard-earned revenue into it. But what if that bucket has holes? It doesn't really matter how hard you work or how much you pour in if you're constantly losing water. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, how much is your business leaking right this second?
And this gets to the very heart of what we call the contractor's dilemma. Just because you're a master plumber or an incredible roofer doesn't automatically mean you're an expert in digital marketing or lead capture. Your skill on the job site is absolutely top-notch, but all that hard work can be completely undermined by these tiny, almost invisible leaks in your day-to-day operations.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to diagnose 3 of the biggest leaks: your digital first impression, what we call the speed to lead race, and your visibility on Google Maps. Then we'll talk about a different way to think about plugging these holes, not as a cost, but as a critical investment in your own business.
All right, let's dive into leak number 1, your digital storefront. I'm talking about your website, your online presence. Really, it's the first place any potential customer is going to look you up. And if it doesn't look professional, you're creating this huge credibility gap before you even get a chance to say hello.
And get this, a study from Stanford University found something pretty staggering. A full 75% of consumers judge a company's entire credibility based on nothing more than its website design. Just let that sink in. 3 out of every 4 people are deciding if they can trust you before they even read a single word about your services.
And the numbers here just paint a brutal picture, honestly. 94% of a person's first impression has to do with the design. 62% of customers will just flat out ignore you if you don't have a professional online presence. And if your site takes more than 3 seconds to load on a phone, boom, over half of them are just gone.
So what's the takeaway here? Your website is not just some passive digital business card. It is your active 24/7 storefront. And whether it's fair or not, a huge majority of homeowners are literally judging the quality of your craftsmanship based on how good your website looks. If your site looks cheap, they're going to assume your work is cheap. Simple as that.
Now for leak number 2. And honestly, for most contractors, this is the big one. It's the communication black hole. It's what happens when you're on a roof, in a crawl space, or driving between jobs, and you just can't get to the phone. And trust me, this one is costing you an absolute fortune.
I mean, just look at this number. Industry data shows that home service businesses miss about 62% of all their incoming calls. So think about it. For every 10 times your phone rings, you're probably missing 6 of them. Not because you're lazy, but because you're busy being a great contractor. But in the process, you're basically slamming the door on more than half your potential business.
But it actually gets worse. Of all those calls you miss, a mind-blowing 85% of people will never call you back. They don't leave a message, they just hang up and immediately, and I mean immediately, call the next person on their Google list. That lead is just gone forever. So who do they end up hiring? Well, this stat tells the whole story. 78% of customers will buy from the very first company that gets back to them. It's got nothing to do with who's the best contractor or who has the best price. It's all about who is the fastest.
And the advantage you get from being fast? It's almost hard to believe. If you can respond to a new lead in under 5 minutes, you are 21 times more likely to actually qualify them as a serious customer. The gap between 5 minutes and 10 minutes is the difference between winning and losing that job.
We call this the 5-minute cliff, and you can see it right here. In those first few minutes, your odds of closing a lead are sky high. But if you wait just 10 minutes, the time it takes to pack up your tools, your chances of winning that business plummet by a massive 80%. It's just a free fall. And really, this just says it all. You could be the absolute best contractor in your city, but if a potential customer calls while you're on a roof and they get your voicemail, they are not waiting. 85% of them are just hanging up and calling the next guy. You never even had a shot.
All right, that brings us to leak number 3, the invisibility problem. See, it's not enough to just have a website or to try and answer your phone. If those high-value, local customers can't find you at the exact moment they have a problem, you might as well be invisible. Seriously, think of this as your local lifeline. When someone has a burst pipe, they're not flipping through the phone book. They're grabbing their phone and searching plumbers near me. And check this out.
88% of those local mobile searches lead to a call or a visit within a day. Look, these aren't just people browsing. They're ready to hire right now.
So how do you stand out in that critical moment? One word: trust. And the data is crystal clear on this. Customers are 2.7 times more likely to see a business is trustworthy if it has a complete Google profile with a steady stream of fresh, positive reviews. It's a massive, massive advantage.
And that's the whole ballgame, isn't it? When that frantic, high-value search for an emergency electrician near me happens, you don't want to be buried on page 3. You want to be the obvious, trusted choice right there at the top of the list, ready to take their call and solve their problem. Okay, so we've found the leaks, a shaky first impression, those killer missed calls, and being invisible to your best local customers. So how do we plug them? Well, it takes a really crucial shift in how you think. You have to start seeing these solutions not as a cost, but as an investment to stop your business from bleeding money.
Okay, let's tackle the first big one I always hear. I get all my business from word of mouth. That's fantastic. It means you do incredible work. But here's the reality check. 81% of those people who are referred to you are still going to Google you before they pick up the phone. And if they find an outdated, broken website, that warm lead you earned just got ice cold.
All right, how about this one? I just don't have the time to learn some complicated new software. I get it. But the whole point of a system like this is that it's built for people who don't have time. It just runs in the background. When you miss that call because you're on a ladder, it automatically texts the lead for you, saving the opportunity while you keep on working. It doesn't cost you time, it buys you time. Oh, and here's my absolute favorite one. I'm already busy enough, I don't need more leads. Look, that is a great problem to have, but this isn't about getting more leads. It's about getting better leads. When you can actually control your lead flow, you get to be selective. You can stop running around taking every small job and start cherry-picking the bigger, more profitable projects.
So, here's the bottom line. Putting these kinds of systems in place to fix the leaks, it's not an expense. It's a recovery operation. It's about finally capturing the full value of the leads and the hard work you're already doing. You're not just spending money. You are stopping the loss of money you have already earned. And all of this really boils down to one final crucial question you've got to ask yourself. There is a world of difference between being busy and being profitable. So are you just running on a hamster wheel, constantly working but not getting ahead? Or are you building a business that's as smart and efficient as you are skilled?